All right, welcome back, guys. I am continuing this spring refresh, if you will. And today I'm here in my kitchen, on my countertop, I have this whole display of vessels. I've gathered up several of my different vessels, and this is not all of them. And then I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's another one over there on the counter. I have a few down there in the floor. These are some of the more lighter colored ones. And right here on my countertop, you probably can't see it. There's a black one. I'm probably going to be swapping that out. So the idea of what I'm getting ready to get into is to redo some of my arrangements for spring. So as you know, I've been doing some organization, some cleaning. I shared 2 closet videos with you guys. By the time you see this one, you should have seen both those. If you have not, go back and watch those. So what we're going to be doing today is taking all of these arrangements. Some you can see they have spring flowers in them. This is not necessarily what's going to be there. That's just the way I put them away. Last season, I just took the flowers out of certain vases, put them in here, and that's where I stored them away in the closet. So these weren't necessarily utilized in the vase that it's currently in. I have several clear ones. I have this woven basket one. I have this light color pottery one. And I have another one here. Not sure if you guys can see this one. So some of this one was one that I used like this last year. I'm probably going to swap that out. So not doing a lot to my house for spring. This is probably going to be it. Not swapping pictures, maybe a couple of pillows. But primarily it's going to be swapping these vases out with some new fresh floral arrangements. These are all faux floral arrangements. While some of them look real, they are faux. These are those lifelike tulips. You guys have probably seen those. These are some very beautiful, not sure what kind of flower that is, but it looks really realistic. I'll show you guys what I have here. What do you call these? Oh my God. I can't think of the name right off the top of my head, but I'll put it on the screen. So here's very similar to this flower here, but this is a cream one. This one is more white. Here's just some assorted flowers that I'm going to be using. I'm trying to see if the name of these things are on here. I'm pretty sure it's not. That is it. These. I do have several of these. Now, I'm not big on a lot of color. So as you can see, most of them are white. This was something that I used in the fall, these dry florals. So I will be taking those out. And I probably won't do this again. So these may be tossed because they don't just drop on their own, but they do shed. If you touch them, bump them, all that, they do have a tendency to shed. So I probably would never use those again. But that's pretty much it. I like natural, neutral colored things. So I'm going to be using a lot of that. I may end up picking up a couple more things, just depending on the amount of vases I decide to put out and where I put them at. But for the most part, this is our starting point. Here's another one. Look how gorgeous this is. I just fell in love with this one. And this came from Home Goods, and I absolutely fell in love when I seen it. It was only $12.99. But it's that perfect, like mint green color. It's got some little florals and butterflies on it. And the mouth is big enough, but not too big. You know, sometimes you get the mouth of a vase that is just so big that it takes a lot to fill it, or you have to go for the really whimsical look. So I was happy to get my hands on this one. This is kind of the color that I'm going for, the soft minty green in the living room. So we're going to see what we can do with that one. And I want to show you one more that's along that color scheme that I absolutely fell in love with. And this bad boy is large and it is heavy. But it's got that very same, I'm gonna put this down so I don't drop it. But it's along that same minty green line. Move these so you guys can see me. But it's along that same minty green color. Let me show you. So here we go. So I'm not sure where I'm going to be using this at, but I would love to get these two in close proximity of each other. So I think that's it. This is a floral that I used in the fall, but because it's so neutral, I'm thinking I'm going to use this somewhere. So I think I am going to be adding that in, maybe mix with some of the cream or the white florals. All right. So you guys are going to see me play this by ear. I legit have to just free flow. I'm going to play around with the types of flowers in each vase until I just feel like I got it right. You're going to see me a few times step back away from it and look at it, shake my head. It's like, nah, that's not it. And throughout this process, you're going to see me make one. And then the final product is not going to be what you saw me actually make. Because I have to keep messing with them until I feel like it's just the best that I can do with what I have. So this is the black base that's going to go on my island. And I think I mentioned that I did leave it in the black. I was going to swap that out, but I think it just looks better with the black up on the island. This vase here, I ended up using this one for the tulips. It has that small mouth, but I love the way the tulips kind of just protrude out and up over. I'm going to sit this to the side, but you're going to see I went back and I added those little, I don't know what you call those little small picks that are laying there. I went back and I added those in with the tulips and it gave it a much better look. I was way more satisfied with the final product. And I don't know what I was thinking about putting these things in this vase right here. So this is one of the ones you're going to see me go back and change, because that's a hot mess right there. And even though I made this one and it was okay, I think I went into one of my closets and I found some more stems that I ended up adding to that. So take note of what that looks like when I finish. And then when I share at the end of the video, you'll see the additional stems that I put in there. And I think it looks so much better with the stems that I added. This is another one. I started out and I was like, nah, this is not it. Went to the hydrangeas again. I made this arrangement in this vase with using the hydrangeas. But when you get to the end of this video, take note, the hydrangeas are going to be in a different kind of vase. It was just not working for me. And although I love this vase, what I ended up doing with that vase and where I ended up using it, I'm not completely satisfied with that, but it's okay for now. And then I'll keep my eyes open. If I come across something else, I may have an opportunity to swap that out. I will. So here I am going back, sticking those stems into that white vase with the tulips, and that gave it a much better look. And now that I think about it, I could have actually just took that arrangement that was in that clear vase at the beginning of the video and just plopped that in that white vase, because that's exactly what I ended up adding in. Here's my big gorgeous mint green vase. It is so big. I don't know if you guys can tell how big this vase is. It is huge and it is heavy. So being up on the island, it was a little bit of a challenge to work with this one. But I think I got it to come out okay. I'm satisfied with the way it turned out. I love picks that are flexible, that I can bend. I do not like cutting off my picks and my stems because I love having the flexibility to use them in different kinds of vases. So I just like them, you know, to be able to fold them up, make them shorter, straighten them out, use them in a large vase so that they're longer. I do not like cutting off my picks. I don't want to, you know, find myself being limited in where and how I can use them. And I do different events as well. And sometimes I'll take my flowers out of my vases from my house and I'll use those in an arrangement that I'm doing for an event or whatnot. So that's another reason I don't like cutting them off. To me, it limits your flexibility. So. I am so happy with the way this one turns out. And it just is so pretty. And I don't know if you can really get an idea of what it looks like on camera. But the little distressing that's on this vase, it just pairs super well with the neutral flowers that I used in this vase. So here are those two picks that I had put in that taupe color vase. It looks so much better in this white one. I think that works so much better in that vase. All right, guys, so I am done. I think I ended up making a total of 8 arrangements. And you can see right here behind me, I did leave the black vase here on my island. I think it just provides the right pop of color that we needed back here. All of the other vases, the colors that I have, they didn't look right in this space. So I did end up leaving the black there. The rest of them, I'm just gonna put still shots in of how I styled those up in the spaces where I ended up sitting each of those arrangements. I'm going to continue on with the spring cleaning series. I think I do have windows coming up and then probably a porch refresh. So stay with me, hit the notification bell so you don't miss one of my uploads. And don't forget to subscribe. It's free to you guys, doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me out so much with my channel. So I thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks for hanging out with me. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me a comment on which arrangement was your favorite. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. So this one is in my office on a credenza. So here's that gorgeous large vase in front of my fireplace. So this is the one that I changed out the hydrangeas. That's my dining room. This is my entryway table. This one is on the floor in the entryway. I'm still looking for the perfect spot for that one. And this one also is just in a temporary spot. Got to really figure out what to do with that one. And that's my island. Here's my favorite vase that I ended up changing. I think I mentioned I'm still sourcing and looking for the right flower to go into this one. So that's all of them. Drop me a comment and let me know what you think.